It is Bookmas day 13, and I'm not going to lie, guys, this video has absolutely nothing to do with books and nothing to do with Christmas. But basically, I posted what I thought was a funny TikTok on the internet, and people took it very personally. So I thought we could dissect it together. So, for a little bit of context here, I have a backup account on TikTok, a spam account, if you will. A few weeks ago, I had a whole bunch of friends whose accounts were hacked, and it made me paranoid. And I was like, I'm going to create a backup account, just in case. And when you create a new account, you want to post on it so that, it looks like a page and you don't look like a bot. So I was like, I'm going to just post silly videos on here and kind of content behind the scenes, or if I'm just thinking of something off the top of my head, I might post it on there. And that is exactly what I did last night. I posted a video, thought nothing of it. I have about 30 followers on that account and posted it for the world to see. And boy, oh boy, did the world humble me. I'm just going to insert the video right here so you can see what it was that I posted. Everybody knows that TikTok likes controversial videos, and I did not think that this fell into that category, but alas, your girl was wrong. Pizza and apparently other people's relationships are very much a controversial topic on the internet. The first hour or so it was up, it reached exactly who I thought it would. People who follow my other account, people who I already know in the comments being like, "You're sick of pizza? What? How do I even know who you are?" Or my sister telling me that I'm hilarious. A little bit of context. My partner has very much been in his pizza making obsession for about 6 months now, and it's just so funny every single time he says we're having pizza. And last night he did it. He's like obsessed with making the perfect pizza dough, bless his soul. And I made a joke about how I'm sick of pizza. Like, we're having so much pizza at the moment. When are you going to get bored of making pizza? And that was when I filmed this video. 10 seconds of me eating a slice of the pizza and posted it on the internet for everyone to see, to open myself up to a wild world of criticism. Now, as far as I was concerned when I posted this video, it wasn't content. Like, to me, content is something that I think about and work on and edit and plan and post with a goal in mind. This was not that. This was a throwaway thing. It was almost a personal joke between me and my partner. He doesn't have social media, but he knows that I post stupid stuff on the internet all the time. He was cool. I was cool. Everything was fine. And then about an hour after it was posted, I noticed the views were going up. There weren't too many comments at this point, but I kid you not, I was refreshing it and it was going up 200, 300, 400 views every minute. And I was like, why is this getting so many views? The likes were going up and I was like, how bizarre. I reiterate, there were no comments at this point, so I didn't have a clue why it was kind of popping off in the way that it was. I got a few silly comments last night, but nothing too bad, and I turned my phone off and I went to bed and I slept quite happily, and I woke up this morning to chaos. Now, I'm trying to be very lighthearted and jokey about all of this at the moment, but actually it was insane. Some of these comments are bizarre. Now, there were a handful of very sweet comments who were giving me genuine advice, and I thought that was sweet. That obviously kind of like, my humor's not for everyone. It's a little bit satirical. It's a little bit sarcastic. It goes over a lot of people's head, and that's on me, not them. Like, I just have a very kind of slapstick style of humor, I suppose. So when people were in the comments being like, "Oh, maybe you could suggest something else," or, "Oh, maybe you could like work on it together and it can be a cute bonding moment," I actually thought those comments were kind of sweet. But the further and further I went down that comment list, the worse it got. I had to delete a few racist comments, which was a massive surprise to me as a middle-aged white woman. It's not what I was expecting. There was this word, I'm not going to say what it is on the internet, but I had to Google it because I hadn't heard it before. And it's basically a very derogatory term for an overweight Mexican woman. And I was like, that is disgusting. Like, why is that word in your vocabulary? So that was like one of the first bad ones I saw. Carried on scrolling a little bit. This is a point. If your video ever blows up like this, just stay away from the comments. I feel like that's safest. It's doing its own thing. But there were comments like, there were a lot of comments on my weight. A lot of comments about how I look like it's all I've been eating lately, how I should get off my fat bottom and go to the gym. A lot of derogatory comments on my appearance and how I look. There were, it was just crazy. It was just crazy. There were a lot of misogynistic comments about how I should be grateful and humble and I should be cooking for him in the kitchen. Why is he cooking for me? And a lot of wild comments telling me I should leave the man. There were a lot of, surprisingly enough, women in the comments telling me how I am an ungrateful B word and that I should send them his details because they know for a fact they could take him away from me. There were people telling me that this was why relationships don't last because there's no communication. And they said this to a woman who's been with her boyfriend for over 10 years, has 2 children, has a home, a life. And obviously, I'm talking about the comments here, but I don't necessarily want this video to necessarily be about the very specific, very derogatory comments that were in there that were just wild to read. And more so, the way that people kind of project anger on the internet, how you can take something that's so freaking stupid and light and silly and take it so seriously. This is somebody else commented about media literacy and how it's quite evident that we are lacking it as a society to see a video like that and think that some of the things that you're saying is okay. And this is not like a me thing. This happens to creators every single day. There are creators out there who post something that is perfectly okay. It's not hurting anyone. It's not derogatory. It's not politically unseemly. It's not hurting anyone. And the offense that people take to it is insane. Internet culture is a growing problem. And I think sometimes I forget that because I kind of exist solely in this book talk bubble where, whilst it does have its problems, is mostly full of very kind, intelligent, supportive people. That when I post on an account and it reaches a different side of TikTok and you get all these comments, you realize that that's not the norm. Like, actually, the norm is people being wild, and that happens every day. It got seriously bad at one point. Obviously, TikTok will kind of filter comments. And some of these comments were telling me that I deserved to be beaten, that I was disrespectful. There were some that were grossly worse that I just can't even bring myself to say out loud. All over a 10-second video of me taking a bite of pizza and making a joke that I was sick of it. It's really hard, I think, to get tone across on the internet, and I'm very aware of that. But I genuinely think if I had been scrolling the internet and I'd seen that video, even if it wasn't my sense of humour, like, in my head, I would have known that it wasn't that serious and it wasn't that deep. Like, I like to think that even if it was outside my personal sense of humour, that I would still be able to understand that it's not that serious. It literally costs nothing to be kind on the internet. And I think if you are comfortable in your own skin, to go online, to be a keyboard warrior and tell people how disgusting and fat they are, to make racist comments, to make sexist comments, to openly be an incel, as far as I'm concerned, A lot of people accusing me of making up my boyfriend. A lot of people telling me that nobody would ever want to be with me, that I'm an ungrateful B word. Like, it's insane. I just can't cope. It's free to be kind on the internet. And I know that there's an element of, well, if you post something and you've put it out there, then people are well within their rights. No, people have too many rights. And I say that as a lefty who believes massively in the freedom of speech. But your freedom of speech should not actively harm another person. And I am so lucky that I have this great community around me and this great family, and that I am stable and confident in who I am as a person, that a lot of these comments do go over my head. You know, if there's somebody else out there who's struggling with any part of who they are, this could end very, very differently. You know, I'm kind of making it all out to be quite funny, but in actuality, it's not. It's actually quite disgusting and depressing and sad and dangerous. Just because a creator chooses to have a public account to post publicly for whoever to see does not give you the right to behave in that manner. It's not an invitation. It's not consent. And it's quite disgusting, actually. I did think about removing the video. I was like, it's not that deep. It's on my backup account. I don't need the views. I don't need the likes. I'm not trying to grow that account, but actually I think I'm going to leave it. And it's going to be a stark reminder of what the world is really like and how much we have to fix, and what a long way we've got to go as a society with the rise of fascism and the rise of the right-wing lunatics and the rise of incels. This got super serious, super fast. And like I said, it's not the kind of video I would normally post. However, I think it's an important conversation to have. And if you've ever found yourself in that situation where people are saying the most horrible things about you, just know it's not a you problem, it's a them problem. And that's so easy to say when it's not you, but right now it is me. Right now it is me that's being targeted in that way. Right now it is me that's being spoken to like I'm worth nothing. And I know deep down, I can keep telling myself that it's not me. They're obviously missing something very crucial in their lives. And I hope for a Christmas miracle that they all find it. Tomorrow we'll be back to something a little bit more lighthearted and cozy and beautiful for Bookmas Day 14. But yes, I'm just going to end it like this. Be kind. It's free.